Okay, this is what I need to know. How can you put out a threat, then turn around and be punked all in the same conversation? Where do they do that at? In Potomac. That's where. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 2, episode 1 of Real Housewives of Potomac. So we're actually back with these Potomac girls, and things have been shifted. Sort of like the rest of the Housewives shows. Remember, well, we started Housewives and it was about just that. Housewives, and then you look up and there's nobody who's even married, for the most part. Same thing in Potomac. We started Potomac. The first thing they did was taught us where Potomac actually was, because who the hell knew? And then now everybody don't even live in Potomac. Whatever. Just roll with me. We'll get to it. First thing we see, Giselle has actually bought a new house. So that's the first thing we saw. Giselle had bought herself a new house, and she has a problem with bees that are like burrowing. I've never seen bees that actually burrow in the ground, but that was the problem she was having. She was having somebody out to take care of that. I'm like, yeah, girl, get that shit in. That's scary. Get that intact, especially having kids. You know what I mean? Come on. Anyway, then we go over to Charisse's house. Well, Charisse got something totally different going on. Charisse has lost weight. She actually looks a whole lot better. She seems a lot, that's an understatement. I said she seems a lot happier in some areas. She seems less anxious and less bothered because at this point the husband actually has literally, that's done. He lost his job and then he decided to stay in New Jersey. He didn't come back. So she ain't got to worry about that shit no more. It is what it is. It's a done deal. And she's in the midst of divorce proceedings. So this is what's going on with Charisse. But you see her actually growing closer to her daughter. You know what I mean? I think a little bit too much so. Because she was divulging a little bit of information was, I thought, a little bit too much. To her. She's your daughter. She's not your best friend. She's not of that age yet. There's probably another, I'd say 5, 6, maybe 7 years before some of that information about your dating situation and things that's going on with your grown-up girlfriends should be divulged to that child because she still is a child. But Skylar literally does look just like Charisse. She looks just like her mother. But all in all, her life is starting to get on track. She's starting to get back to Charisse. And I see she's embracing that Sha-Sha, her alter ego. And I don't think that's a good thing because Sha-Sha is a ghetto bitch. So I'm not so in love with her embracing that. I felt you better when you were a hoity-toity, high-nose bitch. But Sha-Sha's just old ghetto gutter snipe, as the yarn would say. But whatever, we'll talk about that more. So there's this whole thing going on. Charisse and Giselle just don't get along at all. They were taking digs at each other. And then Charisse insinuated that Giselle was a whore. That was at the reunion. And then Giselle did an interview and literally just threw it on out there like, I'm a whore. Well, she's the one who's married, who actually has a boyfriend that's a fireman. He's cute, but I'm the whore. Child, once that came out, of course, she was like, damn, that bitch got me. She did. You uppercut her, baby, and she uppercut you and jammed you and gave you a biscuit, honey. So it was what it was. All fair, love, and war. That damn Charisse sent her a cease and desist letter, baby, about that fireman statement, honey. And Giselle was like, girl, that works over love and hip hop, honey, but I have money. I don't really give a shit. I'll talk about what I want to talk about. I was like, well, okay. So that's what's going on there. Now, remember last year we had Giselle was a contestant in this little dance competition that was a fundraiser. This year, Ashley is actually a contestant, and Giselle is a judge. So that's gonna be it. That was gonna be a little interesting thing. Ashley has this little he's a dance trainer and a dance partner named Tion. Tion's cute, but they can stop trying to feed me that Tion is straight because I don't want to hear any more of that. Um, but they were, of course, Giselle kept throwing jabs as to like Ashley was throwing herself at Tion. But honey, I think she could throw herself at Tion left, right, and in a garbage bag. It ain't gonna make no difference, honey. I don't get that Tion wants Ashley, okay? And I don't think Ashley's husband's too much worried about it. But in Ashley's life as a whole, everything with her has switched up. Everything's not hunky dory anymore. That restaurant that they did is completely failing, and it is straining on their marriage a lot. Um, their conversation isn't even the same. They were so flirty with each other and always screwing each other and taking their clothes off and carrying on. Child, she said they ain't even having sex, honey. That money situation's not working out. And the thing is with the restaurant, I mean, it's Australian cuisine. Well, it seems to not be nobody's really interested the way that they thought that they would be interested. So my thing is, who did all the background for this restaurant? Because that's whose neck I'd be ringing. Who in the hell did the background? Or is this just one of those things where you pushed what you wanted and didn't worry about the consumer and who was going to buy it? You just did, that was your dream of what you wanted, and you didn't really worry about the consumer. This is what happens when you don't take the consumer into account when you're planning a business. You just got this dream business that nobody's in love with but you. I mean, so that was the thing. And then there was a whole situation where Ashley's trying to Americanize the menu, and the husband's not seeing eye to eye because he feels as though the Aussie part is being pushed out. You got damn right, because don't nobody want it. So, child, you better get you a French fry and a chicken wing up in there, honey, or chuck it up as a loss. So that's kind of where they are. Robyn has completely moved out of Potomac altogether. And when we first see Robyn, one, let me say this. Robyn in her confessions, motherfucking gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. When we left, see, Robyn left out on us on a high note. Robyn was so motherfucking beautiful at the goddamn reunion till I couldn't even get myself together last reunion. She just looked just breathtaking. She really did to me. And I'm looking at her on her confessional. She just looks soft and her hair is just beautiful. It's just, just a vision. She is a pretty young lady. She really, really is. And she obviously doesn't see what we see because she's still fucking around with Juan. Though Juan is cute, Juan is a very selfish lover, is what I'm seeing. You're still in this lopsided relationship where everything seems to be to his benefit, and what he wants, it's again that thing like she kind of wants him more than he wants her, and it seems to be like he's using her like a crutch. She could do so much better. She really could. You're not even doing well with him. Their house got foreclosed on. They're not living in Potomac. They're living literally in a townhouse in Handover, Maryland. They're close to Baltimore. So they're like 45 minutes away from where they were before. So you tell me, Robyn, are you really doing, y'all are staying together because it's helping y'all? Shit, I mean, girl, I think somebody's leaning on somebody else, honey. I don't know. I think you, trust me, Miss Thing. Girl, get your confessional look on and twirl your ass on back up to Potomac. And I promise you, honey, you can get rid of Juan. And you could be living better than with Juan. Go sit at one of them basketball games, honey, with your legs crossed without him, honey, and see what happens. Anyway, I'm just saying. Um, yeah, that just listen to them talk to her. He's so short with her, and oh, child, he'd have to go. He'd have to go. He really thinks he's the shit. He'd have to go. Anyway, moving on. Karen and her husband are, she don't want to call it downsizing. She wants to call it resizing, but they're trying to find a smaller house. And, you know, I watched a little bit of it, and about 10 minutes in, Witchy Poo had they got on my nerves, honey. She bought, her wigs are better. She's, you know, I think she's gotten a new stylist. So I think we tore her ass up enough in the first season that she could, you know, go in her boudoir, honey, and cry a little bit and come out and try to do better. When you know better, you do better. You thought you were the shit. You called yourself the Grand Dame, but your fucking head was a mess. And we see you obviously have a new back staff to get you together because your hair is looking better. You ain't all the way there, I mean, because you look like a witch. So it just kind of is what it is. Not the prettiest woman, so you got to work with what you got. Yeah, you know, she all teddies and makeup. So it is what it is. But they're looking for a new house. She's still just mean and nasty. When they went to see the real estate folks to look at this one house, she got on my nerves so bad. I was like, child, I know that man wanted to throw her out of the front door and tell her to get the fuck on, because I know I did. It was just a bit much. Anyway, moving on. So let's go over to Charisse's house. Charisse was at her house with her pocket gay, which is named Sheldon. If you remember him from last season, Sheldon was the gymnastics coach who seems way too young to be hanging with Charisse. I don't think their vibe wasn't even natural. You know, when you see like Tamar with her pocket game, you can tell they kind of hang together. When you see Giselle with her pocket game, you know they hang together. Her and her, you know, we seen her and her hairdresser, they ride or die. You know, she argued with her motherfucking girlfriends about her hairdresser. You know, you can tell they really have a friendship. This thing for with Sheldon and Charisse, that ain't nothing but for the show, and you can see it. Trust me, Sheldon, baby, you're a pocket gay. I hope you're getting paid. Anyway, and because their whole interaction just seemed like he was interviewing her. It just, their scene just, it did nothing for me. Nothing at all. He's sitting up in there, up in her bedroom, and they talking. It looked like it's the first time he ever been in there. Okay? He didn't even seem comfortable sitting on her bed. I said, pocket gay, honey. That's all that was. Messy. Messy, messy, messy boots. Anyway, moving on. So we don't need to see no more of him, really. But maybe they're giving him some little coins, honey. And if she's getting a little coin, honey, let her come back on, honey. Anyway, so Juan had actually told Robyn, stay out of the shit between Giselle and Charisse. But of course, Robyn can't because she's their friend. So she's kind of stuck in the middle. She's trying to make peace. When we get down to the dance competition, like I said, Charisse is stuck on this new shy thing. So even in her confessionals, this bark, she got this new bark, honey. I'm like, is this Charisse or is this Remy Ma? Who are we actually dealing with here? She really does sound like she's on the wrong show. Charisse is sounding very love and hip hop. Girl, I don't know, girl. You have to pull it together. But anyway, so they had the competition. Ashley won the competition. Her little dance was cute. She won. Like I said, Tion still didn't read as straight to me. Tion read as another pocket gay. But I could be wrong. Picture that. Anyway, Giselle and Charisse ended up having this chat, and Giselle was like, I have to go. I don't really have time to talk to you right now, but we do need to talk. We do need to sit down and talk. She's like, well, you can't talk right now. So she forced herself to talk. They go outside to talk. And Giselle's kind of sitting there, and Giselle's paying her desk, really. And Charisse is going on, and they're both going back and forth. Well, you did me wrong, you did me wrong. You both did each other wrong. It was what it was. So y'all either want to squash it or y'all want to continue on with it. Which one is it? And that's basically all it was. What I goddamn Charisse actually said to Giselle, I was being nice by sending you a cease and desist letter. Because, there's other ways that I could have actually done that. And the old Shasha wouldn't have did that no letter. But don't get it twisted. Don't let the zip code fool you. I said, bitch, you want to fight? Because when you say that to me, my next thing, I probably would sock you. Like right at that point, when you make the reference to the threat, I would probably slap you in your mouth or punch you in your eye. It would be one of the two. Because there ain't nothing else to talk about. You'd have threatened me at that point. You're not fucking threatening me and making reference to what you would or may do to me. That's ridiculous. Bitch, bye. And I wouldn't give a fuck what dress I had on or what heels I had on. Do you want to fight? Okay. Bam. No problem. Anyway, so this was the part that worked me. You so motherfucking bad. You so motherfucking bad that bitch looked you in your face and said, she stopped her and said, what do that mean, Charisse? Don't get the zip code. Don't let the zip code fool me. What does that mean? And Charisse said, you know what it means? She said, really? Girl, bye. And stood there. Now, the bad bitch who issued the threat, when the motherfucker you threat tells you, girl, bye, that's your cue to smack the shit out of her. At that point, because you already out there. You got your ass out there at that point. You issued the check. She cashed it. Smacked the shit out of her. Baby Giselle was standing there just as good at him. And Charisse ain't said that. She went right on and kept on talking. I said, so you literally issued a threat, got punked on your threat, and you still going on, oh, bitch, please, and walk back in the building. I said, guess what, Charisse? I don't need to hear any more from you. You're a clown. And you were made a clown. And Giselle was like, and walked right on up the street. Just as I'm bothered. Now that, for me, was some of the funniest shit I seen Sunday night. Issued a threat. Got punked on your threat. And then the bitch walked on down the street. Bye, girl. I'm with her. Bye, girl. Bye, honey. Anyway, that was it. That's all was going down. I'll see y'all next week. I'm glad they back because they are entertaining. They just foolish. I'll see y'all next week.